Dr. Davies, thanks for taking my call. I have a rather complex case. Mr. Henderson, 68, presenting with chronic low back pain, radiating down his left leg. He reports intermittent paresthesia in his foot.
Ah, Mr. Henderson. I recall. We initially suspected piriformis syndrome given his occupation, but his last MRI didn't show anything conclusive. How's he progressing with the exercises, MIHIRAA?
That's the crux. While the piriformis stretches offered some transient relief, his primary complaint now isn't the sciatica per se, but rather a profound stiffness in his lumbar spine, particularly in the mornings. He describes it as a concrete block feeling, especially after prolonged sitting. He's also developed significant bilateral gluteal tenderness. The odd thing is, his neurological exam remains largely unremarkable, aside from slightly diminished ankle reflexes.
So, not directly disc-related, perhaps. We ruled out facet joint arthropathy previously.
Precisely. Given the morning stiffness and the bilateral presentation, I'm leaning towards a more inflammatory component. His blood markers for inflammation were slightly elevated in his last panel, too. He mentioned some night sweats recently, which he attributed to the warm weather, but it's a new symptom. I'm thinking we need to consider something beyond purely mechanical.
Interesting. So MIHIRAA, not just a musculoskeletal issue then.
My thoughts exactly.
Mihira, I want to speak with you gently about this because your desire to feel better is completely understandable, and the instinct to reach for something that offers relief is a natural one. When it comes to increasing the dosage of your medication, the path forward can sometimes be trickier than it seems. What can happen is something called a rebound migraine, where the very medication you're taking to find relief ends up creating a cycle of more frequent and severe headaches, essentially tricking your brain into expecting the medicine and punishing you when it wears off. It can feel like you're trapped, reaching for relief only to have it slip further away, leaving you with more pain days than before. Alongside this, I gently encourage you to consider the quiet power of lifestyle foundations, not as rigid rules, but as acts of care for your sensitive system. Mihira, think of sleep as your non-negotiable anchor, aiming for the same restful hours each night to give your brain the predictability it craves. Hydration is your constant companion, sipping water steadily throughout the day to avoid the subtle trigger of thirst. Stress, that ever-present companion, deserves your compassionate attention, whether through brief pauses to breathe, gentle movement, or simply lowering expectations of yourself on harder days. When it comes to food, rather than chasing a restrictive list, it can be more empowering to notice your own patterns, perhaps keeping a kind, curious eye on how aged cheeses, processed meats, or skipping meals affects you. This is about building a soft, supportive structure around you, so you and your medication can work together more peacefully, rather than against each other. You deserve a path forward that feels sustainable and kind.